As a parent who is in the turbulent waters of mental illness, I understand the overwhelming emotions, the relentless fear, and the constant yearning of normalcy. I've witnessed the impact of mental illness not only on my child, but our entire family. These videos are a call to open our hearts, to understand, to challenge the stigma surrounding mental illness, and to advocate to those who need it most. These videos are like a love letter to my child, a testament to their strength and a chronicle of our journey through the world of mental health. It is a video about the roller coasters of emotions, the relentless struggles, and the moments of hope that have defined our lives. My child's diagnosis of major depressive disorder, or MDD, with psychotic features, personality disorder unspecified, severe recurrent MDD with psychosis, suicidal ideations, and unspecified psychosis, took us into a world I never imagined. Our lives were thrown into a whirlwind of emergency room visits, hospitalizations, and the relentless search for answers. As a parent, I was overwhelmed by the sheer complexity of the mental health system experiences. It's a story of resilience, of learning to advocate for my child's needs, and finding the strength to keep going even when hope felt so far away. It's a story of love, a testament to the power of human connections, and a reminder that even in the face of immense challenges, there is always a reason to believe. This video is for anyone who has ever felt the weight of mental illness, for those who have navigated the mental health system with a heart full of fear, and for those who have sought solace and understanding in the face of life's greatest challenges. This is a story of hope, of finding strength within, and recognizing that even in the darkest of times, love and compassion can guide us towards healing. There was no dramatic shift that screamed something's wrong. It was a slow, insidious creeping in, like the rising tide that gradually encroaches upon the shoreline, leaving behind a trail of subtle changes. My child, who had always been a vibrant, energetic child, started to lose their spark. Their laughter, once infectious and spontaneous, became strained and infrequent. The once playful twinkle in their eyes dimmed, replaced by a weary sadness that tugged at my heartstrings. Everything came out after COVID-19, after not being able to interact with friends, and when it was allowed, them not wanting to interact with them. Their grades had slipped. Their grades that school year were horrendous. They didn't make any effort to do their schoolwork until I got on their ass about it. All they wanted to do was sleep all the time. Things that never bothered them before would now make them angry and lash out. I tried to dismiss it as a passing phase, a natural part of growing up, because, let's face it, who hasn't snapped back at their parent? I told myself that teenagers went through different hormonal changes, and this was the cause of their behavior, that it was just a temporary storm in the passage of adulthood. I clung to this explanation desperately, trying to convince myself that everything was going to be okay. But deep down, a nagging voice wouldn't let me rest. Things started to come up missing, and before I started accusing everyone of stealing, I bought a spy camera. Of course, when I confronted them, they denied it until I showed them the proof I had. I was so mad and upset that I wouldn't listen to their excuses. Later that day, they confessed to being suicidal and using pot and alcohol to self-medicate. The drugs and booze became a way for them to escape the weight of their anxieties. I felt a mixture of emotions, worry, fear, and a sense of failure as a parent. But I felt a glimmer of hope that we could turn things around now that things were out in the open. It was like the world conspired to pull my child deeper into the spiral of apathy and disinterest. But I was determined to help my child through all of this and to let them know they weren't alone. It was a terrifying realization, one that sent shivers down my spine. The realization forced me to confront my own fears, to acknowledge that my child was not simply going through a phase, but was struggling with a powerful, insidious force that could consume them if we left it unchecked. So, with a heavy heart and racing mind, I knew I had to seek help from professionals trained to handle the complexities of mental illness. The fear of the unknown was overwhelming, yet I knew we had to face it head on. I knew the path ahead would come with challenges filled with uncertainties, but I was determined to walk in it with my child, to be their unwavering support system, their anchor in the storm that is raging within them. So began our journey into the world of mental health, a journey that would test our limits and throw up a lot of roadblocks. I'm hoping this journey will lead us through the darkness, the depths of despair, and ultimately to a place of healing and hope. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I also knew I had to face it, that I had to fight for my child's well being, for their right to live a life filled with joy, purpose, and hope. Our journey into the unknown promised both heartbreak and hope, but it was a journey that we had to face and take together. The journey to find help was fraught with confusion and frustration. It began with me consulting with a pediatrician, hoping for a quick fix, but the doctor recognized the severity of the situation and sent us to the ER. Our first visit to the ER was like walking into an unknown place, not knowing if they could help us or not. It was all so different from the world we knew. After telling the triage nurse what brought us to the ER, we were sent back into the waiting room. Because of the suicidal thoughts and wanting to hurt themselves, a different staff member sat with us to make sure they didn't hurt themselves. I call them the babysitters. But before even getting a bed, we talked to the doctor in a different room and told them what brought us into the ER. The doctor also talked to us separately. They asked me what I knew, how long have I known it, and if I could think of anything that is making them feel this way. But whatever we had said warranted a stay overnight in the ER.